Welcome, guys. My name is Tristan Duplichain, and you are watching the Steal Like an Artist podcast. And today I have celebrity chef Ryan Rondeno. And thank you for coming on to my show today.
Thank you.
So, you told me you're from New Orleans. I'm actually in Jackson, so I'm 3 hours away from New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I absolutely love it. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, obviously I'm a chef, so my start in New Orleans, first restaurant was Commander's Palace.
Okay.
Uh, but before that, I went to Chef John Fo's Culinary Institute for 4 years, obtained a bachelor's degree, then worked at Commander's Palace and moved on to a restaurant called Peristyle, then Emerald's, then other restaurants up until um, Hurricane Katrina, where I was working at a contemporary French restaurant called Gautreau's at that time.
Okay, so you was that like always your goal to be a chef when you were younger, or did you have other dreams in mind?
No, at first it wasn't a goal. Engineering was a goal. It,
Really?
it,
Okay. That's a different, like, that's a shift there.
it's a big, you know. Engineering was a goal. It was I always aspired. I have fascination with car stereos, sound, things of that nature. So I always wanted to, saw myself working in that field. But
Things
past,
change.
past it's has another story. So
That's
it's
amazing.
we I was in college for a year. Then I just decided just to make the shift to culinary full time, and you could see where the passion lies. The passion was different. Versus you going through core classes versus you going through core classes for culinary, and it's more eager, more exciting to learn. So it was something that I was looking forward to as a young person to really expand and grow as a chef.
Awesome. So was there like any particular field of cooking that you really liked that just made you really passionate about cooking?
Not well. At first it was pastries. I wanted to be a pastry chef. I want to focus on that. But as I progressed, as I got a taste for other areas of the industry, I decided to focus on just being a general chef, just learning all facets of the kitchen. That makes you stronger. That stronger in the kitchen and stronger with your skill set. So I just decided to just do that.
Okay. So when Hurricane Katrina hit, was it like a positive time in your life or was that a negative? How did that shift where you ended up?
I think with Hurricane Katrina, I just saw myself in transition. You know, uh, I think Hurricane Katrina just kind of helped hurry that transition.
Yeah. Okay. So that was always the ending goal, was to move and that kind of thing.
That was always the end goal, just to move somewhere else. See see another city, another area, a region of cuisine. So that's what I always wanted to do. I didn't plan to do it this way, but things happen. Things
Yeah.
out of control.
So I saw that you've worked with some celebrities. So tell me how you got into that, because I know that there's a lot of people who would just absolutely love to get into working with celebrities. Like, kind of give me a little story on that.
Well, it was 2008. The recession, we're in the recession. Recession hits. So you're just looking for a job. You don't care. I'm applying for restaurants all over the place. Not getting hired. So you figure out you have to do something. You can't just sit there and just um, hope that something comes along. So, but start applying in New York, start applying in LA. Then job comes in LA. It's a private chef position that was put out by someone I knew I went to school with, which I didn't know at the time, but they informed me that the job was for Will Smith.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, okay. But so I, went there, interviewed, and you go through all the preliminary, just like other celebrities, other high-end clients. You may go through a background check, you may not. So we went through that, and that what brought me to LA.
Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. So are you still currently in LA or did you move?
No, I'm still in LA. Still in LA.
Okay, nice. That's cool. So I know, I'm trying to think. I know that you do a lot of meal prep plans. Is that something you like to do? Do you just like, um, for all these like celebrities and people, you just do custom plans for each of them? Is that what you do?
No, well, I set menus for the week, so I'm able to do custom plans um, for a large group of people to where you can select the style of meals that you want throughout the menu for
Yeah.
the week. Still high end, still quality, still gourmet. So you can kind of really reach people. So you still can eat well even during this time, even during a pandemic, quarantine. Wherever we are. So just really still feed yourself well and still get the proper nourishment. So we pushed that out, and now it's doing pretty good. It's doing
So you're
pretty.
really big on health whenever you're cooking for these people. It's kind of what it sounds like.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay, so you just kind of fit their personal needs or what they're looking for.
I just fit everybody's personal needs. I just fit everybody's personality. Everybody's different. One wants fried chicken. One wants catfish, and I don't. I want to eat clean. I want this. So, but I mean, that's if I'm doing it personal property. But for the meal delivery on my site, is strictly to deal with the menu with itself. So it's local, sustainable, a lot of fresh food. So no preservatives. So no shortcuts. No
That's
shortcuts.
awesome. Okay.
I just eat well.
That's awesome. So, who inspired you, like growing up to where you are now? Like, who did you look up to then, and then who do you look up to now?
Well, I mean, cooking started with family cook. Grandfather was a chef, so that's where it started.
Okay.
You move on. You start to grow as a person, so you start to look out in your profession. So when I started cooking, you had the Emeralds, you had the Donald Links, John Besh at that time, Daniel Ballou, Patrick Clark at that time. So Marc Forgione. So those are some chefs I really tailored to. So now you fast forward, to now, I still admire. I love Eric Repair. I love Marc Forgione. Emerald's not doing as much. I think he's kind of just to me it feels like he's kind of just cruising to retirement. You got Nancy Silverton. You have all these chefs that's doing things. Even the younger chefs, um, Chef Kitten Ken Kwame, Eduardo Jordan, um, Tazio Brothers. So you got a large list of group of chefs that you can really watch and just inadvertently collaborate with them and see what they're doing, see their path, see how they're going.
That's awesome. So, have you gotten to meet any of them?
Well, I used to work, of course, I used to work for Emerald. I've met Marc Forgione at the New York Food and Wine Fest. So that was Jeffrey Zakarian, met him at the Food and Wine Fest. You always go to Nancy Silverton's restaurants. You may see her, you may not. So it just depends. So you may catch them, you may not. So you have to be at the right
That's cool
place.
though. So you've definitely met a couple people that you look up to though. So that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Let's see. So I was actually hearing about this coffee dry rub that you came up with, and that kind of caught my eye. So where did this come about, and how did you come up with it?
Well, the spices, it was something I always wanted, always something I always wanted to do for myself. So I just playing in the kitchen, playing with flavors. So you're looking at what you have on hand, and I always tell people kind of just use what you have on hand because I think you can't let spices go bad because I've been in many kitchens to where there's just a large area of spices just sitting there, nothing to do with it. Maybe they're misinformed, maybe they don't know, but you can just really put it together, make mixes. So that's where I decided to use coffee in my rubs because I love coffee with with beef. I love coffee with pork. Coffee goes well with lamb also. So those are some flavors to where I want to develop. So why not? You go add the coffee, why not add some smokiness to it? Add some sweetness, add some spices. So that's where all those flavors really came about and really developed something special with the coffee rub.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool though. I would have never thought to put coffee on meat. That is definitely unique and different, and I love that. When I was reading your bio and I caught that, I was like, I'm gonna have to try that one day. That sounds so good.
Right, we gotta get you something.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. That would be so cool. So, whenever you were in college, did you work and did you support yourself through school? How did you do that? Did you stay with your parents? What was going on
No,
with that?
I did work while I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
You did. I mean, you want to start as soon as possible to really get to attain the restaurant experience. So that's where.
So you were in the restaurant industry while you were in school?
I was in school.
Okay, so were you cooking, or were you just did you wait tables at all, or how was that?
I was cooking. Internships, cooking, staying on the cook. You kind of just worked the ranks as a line cook throughout college, and even after years of college, till you're ready to move to the next level, the chef de partie, the sous chefs. So that's where you start to see yourself grow and develop as a chef. So while I was in school, I mean, granted, you get an education through school, but also you're getting your hands-on education through restaurants, through peers around you. Not only from the chef, but you had talented line cooks that you were surrounded with. So you really want to just soak up all the knowledge you can to really kind of develop your own flavors, your own flair, to what it is, to what it is now. So that's where, as one of the blessings I had, I was always the youngest person in the kitchen. So I was able just to kind of grasp everything from everyone and really help me become a better cook and a better chef.
Yeah. So kind of with this, I really just want to kind of get to know your mindset, I guess, with business and that. Did you always have that mindset of work and progress, or did you have to kind of ease into it? Did anybody push you into it? How did you did you get that, I guess, strive to get to where you wanted to be?
I mean, I think this industry, you have to have a very sound work ethic, or you won't make it far. But I think it's not the matter of work, then achieve, but it's the work, the balance, kind of just focus on something, develop that skill set, then move on, develop that skill set, then move on. So it's grasping, what you can instead of just, work, putting the pressure on yourself. I gotta work, do this, and do that to really expand. The position is going to be there, the future's going to be there. So why not just, attend as much as you can now and perfect what you can now. Then once you get to the point where you need to be, it's smooth sailing.
Awesome. So it's kind of like focus now and then relax later kind of thing. That's kind of the mindset.
Mindset, yeah.
I could definitely appreciate that. So do you have any future goals in mind that you're trying to work on?
Right now we're developing a recipe app. So
Okay.
Recipe app for people around the world. Beginning cooks, intermediate cooks. So different things people can do at home instead of, I may hear some people say, I get tired of cooking the same stuff, or try something new, or try this new, that looks good, that looks good. So this is where, you step in and you want to just help people out with cooking in their own kitchen, becoming a better cook in their own kitchen, tips, tricks, and just, just good bona fide recipes to really add to their repertoire.
That's awesome. Because I know for me, I'm always looking at different recipe cards, and sometimes I go on Pinterest and that kind of thing. So that's awesome that you can help people that way.
Exactly.
I love that. Is there anything else? I know that you have I know you just came out with your rubs, did you not? Or how long have you had those?
No, we've had the rubs for 3 years.
3 years?
3
Awesome.
years, yeah.
Are you
So
always adding to it?
yes, we have 6 now, and I'm looking to add 3 more in the future,
Awesome. So 3 more in the future.
more in the future. So play on some different flares. We have the Nola, which is of course the New Orleans Creole, which is New Orleans.
Yeah.
With the barbecue, we have the citrus, we have the smoked coffee, the jerk, Caribbean jerk, and the gumbo rubs. So we add some more ethnic rubs to really, you know, pay homage and really hone to where where you coming from and where you're going, and kind of just tell your story of your cooking experience. So that,
I love gumbo, so you had me at gumbo. My grandmother used to make a mean gumbo because my whole family, actually, some of my family is from Metairie, so that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let's see. So I'm trying to think of something else that we can talk about. Let's see.
I think in the future, I guess just looking at the way things are moving now, just eventually, a restaurant's always a goal.
I was
You
going to say,
know,
that's what I was going to ask is, did you think about owning your own restaurant? So that's kind of an idea.
yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea to really pursue, bring the Creole Southern style to LA, but totally different aspect to where you mentioned New Orleans food with California cuisine, kind of just creating this unique balance and creating something totally different. Some people never had before. It's pretty much what we do now. So that's in the future. Cookbooks in the future. Flatware, potware. All these things to really help increase and grow the brand are definitely something that I see foregoing.
That is so phenomenal. I absolutely love that. That is really cool. So you say that like a lot of people, I guess in LA, like have they never had Creole? Like you find a lot of people who have never had like Southern cooking before.
Yes. There's been a lot. There's been a lot. I think, but it seems as though a lot of traditional dishes, the gumbos, the jambalayas, the etouffees. So you kind of just you want to break them out for those who haven't had it, and kind of just show them, okay, in the South we cook local and sustainable, we cook fresh, so we use everything we have to create something special, something flavorful, and something good. So that's what you really want to show them.
Yeah.
But I think when I first moved here, I think Southern food wasn't respected as much as it is now. So there's more of a respect for it in LA for Creole food. So which was a testament to itself that people are starting to open up and really embrace it.
It's so good. I can't even imagine not having that in your life, I guess, because I grew up with it. So it's so crazy. I use spices on everything. If it doesn't have spice, it's bland to me.
You gotta season your food.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love like Creole. That is one of my favorites. So, but again, I've grown up in the South, so everybody puts extra flavor in their food or they don't want it.
They will talk about you if you don't.
So what do you have to say to somebody who's young and upcoming and trying to pursue their dreams? What would you say to them?
For someone who's upcoming and young, don't give up. Don't give up. Be persistent. Be passionate about your craft and be passionate about what you do, and really, hone your craft and attack it as if it's the last thing you do every day. Just kind of push yourself to be a better person. And so that's what I would tell a younger person that's really pursuing, whatever craft they're doing. It may not have to be culinary. It can be whatever they desire.
Just have that passion behind it and go for it.
That's it.
I want to thank you so much for talking to me, Ryan. You were like so cool, and I absolutely hoped that I get to talk to you in the future and see where you end up.
Definitely, that sounds great.
Thank you for taking the time out to talk with me today.